Sup, my name is Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Welcome to Guide to Your Side, aka your Sunday video, where we help with your side deck. We help you get around things that are so pesky you want to rip your damn hair out because it's Yu-Gi-Oh! So this week we're going to be focusing on Herald / Cyber Angel, basically a combination to them, and how to completely shut the deck down. I'm not going to give you one way of doing it. I will talk about the best ways of doing it, but at the same time, I will talk about every single way, how it works, and how you could actually incorporate it into your side deck and how you want to utilize it in full effect. Now, with that said, I'm not going to waste any time. Let's go into this. So, I'm going to first start off with Crystal Wing. If you can establish this turn 1, a lot of decks can. I'm looking at you, Speedroids. Very nice. And you can bring out that Crystal Wing. They go for their combo wombo with the Herald. You can nullify, what they're going to get to the combo pieces, the Manjus, or the Cyber Angels themselves. They're going to have a hard time getting over anything in general that has a 3,000 attack point. Because that 3,000 attack point, the deck has difficulty jumping over it without something like Eyes. And especially Herald of Perfection, if you could bring out a monster with 3,000 attack points, like Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, you're playing Blue Eyes, it's going to be pretty fairly easy and in your favor until they drop Jogin, because Jogin's very popular. Next up, Kaiju Sea Turtle. Tributing off the Herald, tributing off the threat in your way is always a great thing to jump over them. And it goes without saying here, it works the same way as it does with every other thing. You should be siding Kaiju Sea Turtle. If you're not siding Kaiju Sea Turtle, then, in all honesty, you must not have a problem with Majestys Fiend or Vanity's Fiend or anything of that sort. I mean, Book of Eclipse is great for those, floodgate monsters, but when it comes to something like Herald, if it's really an issue for you, you don't want to be using Book of Eclipse when they're going to nullify it. You want to get it off the board as fast as possible. And yes, you can bait it out, but you're going to be losing cards and your opponent's going to just be sacking off fairies that they don't need. And that's just the honest truth. Don't waste your resources trying to get a Herald off the board. Just simplify the problem into one tribute by tributing it off without them consenting to it, because that's pretty much what it is. My next one I want to mention is Light Imprisoning Mirror. They can chain to it, so you want to get this up as soon as possible. And the sooner the better. Because Herald's always going to be special summon in defense mode. So you want to basically just turn off its effect. If you could turn off its effect of nullifying all your cards, then you have a way to win. This only works until Twin Twister is no longer on the board. So that's something to think about and consider. So you want to bait them out and then go into it, or just have something around it. Next card I want to mention is Skill Drain. Again, if you can basically avoid the Heralds coming to the board, Skill Drain is a great option to just completely shut down the Manjus, shut down anything that's not going to activate in the graveyard, or anything that's not called Ritual Sanctuary. You're going to instantly shut it down, and that's why I bring it up. The next card is Curse Seal or the Forbidden Spell. You're going to mainly want to play this on the, I forgot what the actual name is, Dawn of the Herald or something like that. It's their ritual spell card. It has Herald on it. You'll know it right away because they're going to be trying to summon that Herald. Lock that out. Don't allow that to come to the board, or hit the Ritual Sanctuary and completely slow down the deck so you can set up other floodgates, and that way they can't jump over your stuff. That way, hey, look, no big, card on the board that says you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! No big card in my way that says, fuck you, you're not playing the game tonight. That's just pretty much what the deck does. Moving on, Dark Law. Because any card sent to the graveyard is going to be banished instead. And if they search, you're going to be able to rip a card. Now, granted, Dark Law can't just jump over the Herald of Perfection because if it's a big booty. It's got a big old bootio box, and it's 2,800, and it's too fat. So what Dark Law provides is pretty much anytime they try to nullify your effects, oh, no, because it's not sent to the graveyard, it's being banished instead, meaning that the Herald cannot activate its nullification. That way your cards go off without a problem. So if you make a Dark Law turn 1, it's pretty much GG, or it's going to be go turbo into trying to jump over your Dark Law and just go into that situation. So if you have something like Dark Law and say what do we mention so far? Light Imprisoning Mirror or Crystal Wing if you're playing a Suzuka build, then you pretty much have won. It's not that hard, or Ultimate build, how you want to say that. So that's something to consider. Macros Cosmos D-Fissure, same reasoning. Behind that, Utopia Lightning. I can't talk about how good Utopia Lightning is, and finally, as of now, my European friends should be able to have access into Utopia Lightning from the special edition. Congrats, welcome to the club. It's amazing, trust me it is. So the thing with Utopia Lightning is that not only do you instantly out Herald, all you need is 2 monsters on the board, and that can be done multiple ways, and you could just basically sit there and have them set up. You know, if I have like Thunder King or whatnot, which we'll be mentioning later in the list, then you could just make Utopia Lightning, smash that Herald in the face, and that Herald can't jump over it, and it's an instant problem for the deck right away. No honest drops, nothing like that. The next card I want to mention is Prohibition. Can't talk about how good this is, but I say it all the time. This little preview for when the Cyframe one drops. You ready? So if you play Prohibition, you call Cyframe Driver, they pretty much can't play the deck. That's a beautiful thing. Now if you take that and put that to Herald, if you call Dawn of the Herald, Herald of Perfection is never coming to the board until they get that Prohibition off the board. Now, granted, you can use this against something like Blue Eyes and say Melody of Awakening Dragon, no search. Or Sage with the Eyes of Blue, no search on that part. You know, there's multiple things you can call. So whatever the problem card that you're having, you could just call that and won't be able to be played. Vanity's Fiend and Majestys Fiend. Majestys Fiend completely shuts down the effect of Herald. I love it so good. And anything that activates in the graveyard will be shut off as well. Vanity's Fiend just basically says you can't special summon. So if you can turn one it, and they can't play the game. But honestly, probably the best side card to use against this deck, if it's really a thorn in your side and you want something dirt cheap, I mean like 10 cents, Divine Wrath. I cannot talk about how good this card is. Any monster that uses its effect, that triggers its effect, you play Divine Wrath, you discard 1 card, it's completely negated, and the monster's destroyed. There's no protecting that. It's just nasty. It's a lovely, lovely thing when someone plays Blue Eyes Alternative against you, and you play Divine Wrath. They play Jogin against you, you play Divine Wrath. They go for Evil Swarm Search, you Divine Wrath. There's so many multiple situations that in the current meta that it's great. And I think it's one that will work pretty nifty against ABC. Next up, Lava Golem and Volcanic Queen. They're pretty much more versions of the Kaiju Sea Turtle. In this regard, you could probably also use the Phoenix Spear mode if there's 3 monsters on the board, which are not always going to be. So the safe bet is just pretty much stick to Kaiju Sea Turtle. Don't worry about the burn. You don't want to give him a 3,000 monster. And Lava Golem is an option, but at this point in time, and this could be completely blunt, it's outdated. For the simple fact that you can't normal summon or summon anything after you summon Lava Golem holds that card back so badly. So unless you're playing something like, I don't know, Chain Burn and then have Spellbinding Circle, that's like 2004. We're way past that right now, so it's time to adapt. Kaijus are the way to go. You can use a spider, you can use a sea turtle, it doesn't matter as long as you out it, that's what matters. AntiSpell Fragrance. Shut off the spell cards, and the deck slows the hell down. You get them face down, you can twin twist them, because it's beautiful. But as great as AntiSpell Fragrance is, I like to talk about one of my personal favorite cards currently, Mind Crush. Hey, look, that player played Manju to get Herald of Perfection. Mind Crush called Herald of Perfection. How many do you have in hand? Oh, at least 1. Goodbye. It's a beautiful situation when you can play Mind Crush against a deck that doesn't want you to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In all regards. When I think about Cyber Angel Herald of Perfection, I just think more Herald of Perfection. You know, just made that side of the deck better. You normally don't see Cyber Angels using just all Cyber Angels without Herald of Perfection, because the better build right now is the Herald of Perfection build, and I can't blame the players for playing that version. It's always been good. But obviously, it's just, you gotta have outs to it. Next up, Chaos Trap Hole. The deck focuses on a lot of light monsters, pretty much everything. So this is a great side deck card. You could also use it against Cosmos, PK, and of course, big blue eyes. Warning and Strike, pretty much same thing as Chaos Trap Hole, but more life point cost. But hey, it gets the job done. Am I right? And the thing I like about Solemn Strike for this matchup, basically if they go to discard or nullify something that you have, and you play Solemn Strike, and you pay that beautiful 1,500, they lose out on a card, and you nullify it, and get to do what you wanted to do. It's beautiful. It's honestly beautiful. This is one that I will not deny. I bring up because of the YCS, or it had to be YCS Championship in Mexico, where the guy played Jogin in his Pendulum deck. Jogin is fucking amazing right now. Now, the one tricky part of playing Jogin against this deck is that this deck can jump over it pretty easily, but you can bait out the Herald of Perfection effect. So if they go to discard a card, then you can flip up that Solemn Strike and go, nope, and then they can't supposed to summon. So this basically works for demise builds pretty much, that will search out key pieces and only your normal summon once. That's a thing to think about, because then you could also play Brilliant Fusion because Jogin's light. Ooh, hot fire. Thunder King Ryo. This is a deck that focuses so much on searching. Take away the power to search, it may hurt you, but remember, you can do all your searching, then summon Thunder King, and continue on like nothing happened. And then slow them down. I mean, dramatically slow them down. Phoenix Chain Breakthrough Skill, pretty much the same way to bait out Herald's effects, and then go from there. I don't really recommend either one, because it's not going to do anything for you. And lastly, Santa Claus, because Santa Claus is another monster you can use for a tribute to get off the Herald of Perfection off that board. So it's not in your way, it's not in your face. If I left anything out that you guys feel is very, very important, make sure to leave it down in the comment section below, so people who are looking for help against Herald of Perfection can actually get that from you guys. And credit to you guys for always doing that. I appreciate it, because it brings the community a little bit together. A little bit more. Now, I do gotta say this much in regard to a few things. I just want to say thank you for the continuous support. Sorry I haven't been in the comment section so much. I am reading the comments. It's just I haven't had time to respond, because I just been taking time to myself. Good things. All good things. But I just want to quickly say thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And don't worry, I always see your comments, and I always appreciate you guys taking time out of your day for that. It means the world. And I will see you guys on the next video as always. Till then, peace.